Today we're going to talk about overexertion. Now, overexertion falls within the area of what we call ergonomics. So it's about using your body properly and in the right positions in order to reduce injury and especially uh, over the long haul traumatic type injuries that are as a result of a long term abuse of your own body and the way you use it in order to get your work done. Now, many workplace injuries are the result of overexertion, and it's caused by lifting, pulling, or pushing objects. So, overexertion is spraining a ligament or straining a tendon or a muscle, and it occurs when the amount of work that a person is attempting exceeds the limit of the body part that's doing the work. So people with pre-existing conditions, limited mobility or aging limitations, are more prone to overexertion injuries. In some cases, individuals will overuse one body part to compensate for the limitation of another body part. Now, when we're talking about overexertion, such an injury is likely to occur in one of these four ways. Number one is high force demands. Now, this can happen when lifting, pushing, pulling, carrying, gripping, or using tools causes you to have to use an extra amount of force. So it's a high force demand. Number two, awkward or stationary posture. Now this can occur when you're bending or twisting or reaching or kneeling. And then also repetitive movements or actions. Doing the same motion repeatedly without taking a few small rest breaks can cause this kind of an injury. And then number four is all other overexertion hazards. Now this includes contact stress, hand-arm vibration, whole body vibration, hammering with hand, and working in cold temperatures or hot environments. All of these things with what we do are potential causes of these kind of overexertion injuries. The best way to prevent an overexertion injury is to work through the task in your head, to do a bit of pre-planning, to figure out the best way to perform the work with the least amount of energy, and then follow through with that plan by taking necessary precautions. A major precaution includes proper lifting guidelines, and we've gone over this before, but it's worth a moment to do it. That is, get a good grip, grasp the load firmly, use gloves if they allow for a better grip, get a good footing, center your body weight to provide a powerful line of thrust and good balance. Keep the load close to you, grasp the load firmly and lift towards the belt buckle. Hold the load close to the body to avoid putting pressure on your back. Lift smoothly, raise, carry, and lower the load smoothly. Don't ever jerk a load. Avoid twisting. If turning is required while lifting or carrying a load, turn the feet and the body instead of twisting the back. And then push rather than to pull the load. Now, there are some other guidelines to reduce the risk of overexertion injuries. For one thing, ask for help when you're moving heavy objects and moving steel around. Once again, you're in a position a good bit of the time of having to deal with very heavy objects. Use material handling devices, carts, hand trucks, drywall carts to move heavy items. Plan a route when you're moving items. The route should be free from slip or trip hazards. Use tools with easy to use handles or grips that have vibration reducing features to them. Reduce total exposure to vibration by alternating between tasks that use vibrating tools and tasks that use non-powered tools. Establish a suitable working height depending on the type of work that's being done. Utilize stools and anti-fatigue matting at workstations. This is particularly useful in the shop, especially if you're working at a task with a prolonged standing, which involves prolonged standing. Place materials used that are being used very often between waist and shoulder height, if at all possible. Place less frequently used materials in less desirable locations, such as on the top shelf. Utilize different tasks to a job to increase a variety of physical movements in an effort to prevent repetitive motion injuries. Try to go at it several different ways, and you can pre-plan this. Use knee pads while kneeling or padded gloves when lifting to reduce contact stress over long periods of time, especially if you're doing layout on a slab or layout on a floor for something that you're either going to fabricate or erect. Now, a lot of times it's very, very helpful to have a pair of knee pads so that you can just draw your lines, get your control lines in, and not kill yourself in the process or injure yourself in the process. And then also know your limits and respect those. Listen to your body when it tells you to stop. Now, I understand that all of these things are affected by what we're doing, and all of them require some strategy and some concentration. But overall, what you want to try to do, if at all possible, is to avoid this matter of overexertion so that you don't just tear your body down and in a few years are unable to really work without a high degree of pain and difficulty as a result of the fact that you've just overexerted all the way along the line. Thank you.